Hey there guys, it's me Malorian. It's time for another Malorian Pandemic Battle Report. In this one here, it's going to be a little bit special. Basically, I've had this Ashlynn list that I've really wanted to show off on the channel for a while, but it's really difficult to find a fair matchup. And that's the big thing I found in these pandemic games, is that I try and set up something that I think will be fair, and then it turns out it goes pretty wonky. So I thought, okay, to try and get around this, how would I take the easy way out and the fun way out? And I just collaborate with another podcast or group to actually be making the list I'm going to be facing. I'll tell them what my caster is, and then they'll have to make a list from there. So that's what I did. I reached out to, in Morrow's name, they're a Cygnar based podcast. If you haven't listened to them, you really should go check them out. But I said to them, hey, look, I got Ashlynn. That's all I'm going to tell you, and make a list. Now, Matthew Bunting, he kind of stepped forward from the group and said, hey, you know, like, how about you just take my Stryker3 list that I've been playing normally and go with that? So we want to make clear that that's not really coming from the group. It's not like they all agreed on it, but whatever. This is going to be fun, and we'll just kind of see what happens. Alright, so jumping into this here and looking what we have, as always, the lists are down there in the descriptions, but my Ashlynn1 list is a pew pew pew, you are all dead kind of list. We got Ashlynn with a Blockader, and it's in Llaelese, so I got my double gun mages with UAs, double thorn gun mages. I also got Terran, so many little sniper shots in there. They're just delete infantry. And talking about delete infantry, I still have two Thamarite Archons, and if you get lucky and get close, I also have my Morrowan Archon, and I also got Gorman that gets to start up there in the little piece of terrain as well. So yeah, basically in this one here, I won the role to go first, which makes sense because I have Anastasia off in ambush. And yeah, guns always want to go first for the most part. So yeah, my plan is just to shoot everything down. Otherwise, on the other side here, what Matthew has in his list, I am having to proxy some things here, so I'll make sure it's very clear. But I got Stryker3 running the Swabber and also a Gallant. I have 3 units, now 2 of them being Vigilants that are being covered right now with my Crow's Cutthroats. And there's also the unit there of the Devil Shadow Mutineers. All of them kind of like loaded up there with the... actually, too many. I believe in his list he sent me, there's supposed to be 2 of these Battle Priests each. Well, in this one here, I put 3 because I think I was just mistakenly throwing things down. So, whatever. You know, a free 6 points. It's all good. Otherwise, he also has a Morrowan Archon and 2 Thamarite Archons. I don't have 4 Thamarite Archons, so the Void Archons, pretend they have bows. They're shooty things now. Otherwise, we got a bunch more other stuff going on. We have a Alexia 2. We have Throne out there. There's also a Thamarite Advocate. That's what Corbeau is standing in for, because again, I don't have one yet. And there's also Acosta. Now, normally, I would say this list is going to do some awesome things. It's going to get in there, you know, especially when you're talking about those front Vigilants just hitting off first, where they're POW 11 going up to 13 with Gang. You got Fury, you got the Feet, auto hitting, tons of Weapon Master damage. It's going to be insane. However, this is really bad. So to explain to you why this matchup is bad is because this list over here has guns that's trying to force you to come in and then hit you with that crushing feat. The problem is that Ashlynn has longer guns that are more accurate and more deadly. So yeah, the threat of the guns over here is they can hit you from 16 inches away. The threat from the guns from Ashlynn is that she can hit you from 20 inches away. And whereas she can just shoot you from 14 inches out and then even like Swift Hunter back farther away, even if you trigger Vengeance on like a Vigilance unit, that means that they're speed 6, you are going to be charging basically out 12. Well, you're going to be threatening 13 inches on if you trigger Vengeance, which means you don't even need the Swift Work or whatever, Quick Work, whatever it is, just shoot and go away. Swift Hunter, that's the rule I'm trying to think of. You don't even need that because you can do that and stay away. So at some point here, we're just going to have to run in, hope something survives, and then try and go in from there. Alright, so first turn for Ashlynn, pretty straightforward. She gets Admonition because another big interaction I didn't talk about, and probably the reason they wanted Stryker3, is because Ashlynn defensively is really hard to hit, because the way it works is that everybody in our control rolls 2 extra dice, and I choose which 2 are dropped. So it's really hard to hit Ashlynn on feet turn and her army unless it's Stryker3, where charge attacks automatically hit. So I don't want to die, so I have admonition on myself to get out of there, quicken up onto the Blockader, and basically everything has run up to be outside of the threat range. Glyn, who, by the way, I didn't say, is the one with the big rifle there, she threats a little bit further, 17 inches, not the 16 inches from the rest. So I'm basically just staying outside of range of everything and saying, all right, what are you going to feed me? So jumping over here to Stryker, there's no reason to hold back. You know, if I was to hold back to turn 2, let's say I just kind of like backed up this turn to make sure everything was together and rushed all at once, I would be shooting myself in the foot scenario wise. At least the way it is right now, I can rush up and say, look, if you back up, I'm going to score everything, and it's going to be really bad for you. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to utilize the terrain the best I can. It's really difficult because even though a lot of things here have stealth, and that big potato-looking thing over there is actually a cloud, well, the thing is when those gun mages pop feet, they're going to have true sight, and they're going to ignore that. And if things want to be close enough so that I don't have to like walk back 3 inches and not be in range, things have to get up there as far as they can. So, you know, even with the Thorn Gun Mages, if you want to stay outside of the 11 inches threats that they have there, that means they have to just like back up 3 inches and you can't get to them. So it's just, it's not the right thing. You have to be aggressive. And so I'm trying to use the wall, terrain, shield guards everywhere just to try and make this work. Escorts up there. I also have the Iron Aggression up onto the Gallant. And I had to stay out of the charge range of the Blockader. There's right now not a good way I can get somewhere so that I'd actually survive. If I, you know, everything in front of me is probably going to die. So if I'm up there, he's going to charge me and smash me. So best I can do is set myself back with Gallant, saying, okay, I know you have a bunch of sprays and you could like spray down everything, but if you do, I'm going to take you off the table. So that's all I can do. Cross my fingers for some misses and see what happens. Oh boy. So as you can see, there weren't a lot of misses, and it was devastating. Something else I was thinking of too is that even though things like the Vigilants have stealth, their shield guards don't. So after all the shooting was done here, it was brutal. Now, some of it was needing a little bit more luck as well. So say, for example, on the right, when I'm shooting into those Devil Shadow Mutineers, they actually have boxes. So I have to roll 7s to kill them. Those 7s came up, so it made it a lot easier. Once the shield guards and things were shot away, I could start shooting at the more juicy targets. So Acosta goes down, Alexia 2 goes down, Throne goes down, and just almost everything. Like that unit in the front that had the Fury on it, there's 1 Battle Priest left. The Vigilance behind, just 2 models that are way back there. And yeah, really bad. You know, I don't know what else. I mean, I would hope it's really clear here that I didn't set this up for them to be crushed. I did the best thing I could, and now I have to do the next best thing, which is just getting in there and putting on the pressure and try and think to the future. So, yeah, pretty strong feat turn for Ashlynn, killing off like 80% of the other army, and this is, you know, top of 2. So bottom of 2... there's no time of crying. I bet you, you know, like if this was in a tournament, people might just give up, but there's still a shot. So what I do to try and leverage this is, first of all, with the Thamarites, trying to shoot down as much as I can. I can stay outside of the feet range, you know, even though I'm shooting at defense 14, I'm getting 7s re-rolled. Unfortunately, the Thamarite on the right missed one, but still there, you can see I kill off a bunch of gun mages with them doing the AoE, so that's fantastic. My Gallant ran behind the cloud, and then I'm trying to block things in with the Morrowan just to try and really threaten that Gallant. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get some points, so I pop my feet, I hide over here, and then I charge over with the 2 Vigilants that are left. They kill off the Thamarite Archon on the right, and they're going to score that zone. I have the Thamarite Advocate on the flag, so it's going to score that zone. I'm contesting the other flag, not that anything was there anyway. The other Battle Priest even went up there and did work and killed 2 models, so that was amazing. And then, yeah, I did the best I can. I've scored 2 points, and hopefully that sets me up for something later. So my big priority here was just to try and make sure to keep Ashlynn safe. I moved back the Blockader so that with that terrain there, it probably can't really get to me. If it does, who really cares? I mean, that's just the way it is going to be, right? I do my best moving away, punch away the Archon that was in my face. Otherwise, I just keep on doing damage. So I kill off the Battle Priest, I kill off the 2 Vigilants in the zone. Anastasia came in, she's contesting with that wall on the left just to make sure I don't lose any more points over there. After I'm done that, I'm able to do a little bit of damage into the left Thamarite Archon that he had, he being me, and then on the right, a little bit of damage into Gallant, and then otherwise, just kind of like spacing things out. No counter scoring for me, so it's still 2-0 for Stryker3, but yeah, you know, just trying to play defensively here, pick things away, and then hopefully next turn, then really start cleaning up. Alright, so Stryker3, I actually have a play here, and so at first I was actually thinking that, oh, okay, I can go in there and I can be going after the Blockader, but actually the way things were, I couldn't even get there. That was impossible. So what I can do, though, is I was able to trample up and kill off the Morrowan Archon. Now, at the time, I didn't trigger admonition because I wasn't in danger, and looking back, I was like, oh, I might want to, because now that Archon's gone, now things are going to shoot at Ashlynn. Now, they still need 10s to hit, re-rolled, but the 2 Thamarites get in there. Each of them hit her once, and from that, and she was camping too, you know, that drops her down 5 boxes, but, I mean, that was the best shot I had. I had an assassination shot. If I rolled hot and got 10s and actually hit, you know, I could have actually killed her. So, you know, I tried my best. Otherwise, Stryker's doing the flag on the left. I had destroyed the objective, I must have at some point. I must have gone in there and killed it, but yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much it. So there we go. Let's kind of see what happens. I got a few more points, and yeah, we all know what's going to happen now. So yeah, the biggest thing I want to do with Ashlynn now is play safe, wipe things out. So with that, I'm able to kill off Gallant in front of me. I kill off both the other Archons. I'm scoring the left zone. I'm now scoring my flag. I can test their flag. Starting to plink away some points into the Swabber. Anastasia coming over so I can threaten things later. And at this point, it's really all over. So really all I can do is, hey, I got 2 models, let's use them. So I put on Fury onto the Swabber. I upkeep the Escort so it's still fast. I kill the model that was contesting and then come back to the flag with Repo. And then the Swabber charges in and actually does really well. Like, was just a couple of boxes short of, like, killing a side. So 50% of the Blockader. So not too bad for a Swabber, all things considered. But, you know, I score 1 point, they score 1 for the other zone. And then otherwise, on the other turn here, what do you think happens? They are now scoring the right zone, the left zone, the flag again. The objective is half dead. And then after I kill off the Swabber, I put the Thamarite just in front of Stryker, just to make sure no real shenanigans happen. And then pass it over again. Really, all Stryker can do right now is kill off that Archon in my face. The cool thing is that because it doesn't have a weapon, you can actually walk around to the back of it to get a back strike. Killed it, repoed onto the flag, so I score 1. I'm actually just 1 off from losing, but it's really off anyway. And the last thing that happens is that the Blockader comes into Stryker3, gets the crit on the second hit, and slams him into the wall and kills him. And there's the game. So it's a caster kill, which after that, there'll be a final scoring, and then, of course, scenario stuff as well. So all things considered, it was pretty much kind of like a beatdown, but I mean, you can't blame In Morrow's Name or Matthew Bunting for this. Again, they didn't know what they were walking into. It was just a bad matchup, but the thing is that even in this bad matchup, there still was some play there. There still was that one chance in the assassination onto Ashlynn there. So, you know, that could have actually gone through. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the points put into this just weren't enough to actually keep things alive. And I mean, that's even with me screwing up and forgetting that there was 2 Battle Priests and not 3 on all the units. So really, it should have been even worse. But I mean, like, you know, like, that's the problem, guys. I really want to show off this Ashlynn list and show you how cool it is. And then at the same time, I really want to work with and collaborate with other podcasts, give them shout outs, see what type of wild stuff they're going to be pulling out here. So I got some more lined up for coming after here. I mean, don't take this as saying this Stryker3 list sucks. Obviously, it's really good, and Matthew's done really well with it. And just a big thanks for, in Morrow's name, for actually being part of this. And, you know, I'm sure they were like, who is this Brian guy? Why is he asking for a random list? What is he going to be doing with it? Is he going to try and make fun of us? No, I'm not doing this to make fun of In Morrow's name. Again, they're a great podcast. If you are playing with Cygnar or against Cygnar, you need to go check them out. They're on the Muse Network. And otherwise, guys, if you have any other comments, please post them down below, and we'll catch you later.